That night, he tried to take me back to his place.
Run.
Hello friends, and welcome back to ReddX, your source for the freshest daily Reddit content anywhere on the internet. Promise, swearsies, it's just a fact, and it's totally science. Go ahead and look it up. Today, we are jumping into r/Tales of Neckbeards. I was thinking about neckbeard nests, but I'll probably need to do like a practice video for subreddits that I'm not familiar with, just to make sure that I'm not going to totally drop the ball and deliver content that is not of the utmost highest scientific quality. So today, it's Tales of Neckbeards. Also, we're going to smush in some of my own personal subreddit because I've been having some stories submitted there, so I am eternally grateful. If you've written a story, you are an absolute hero, and I will get around to them given due time. If you're interested in posting a story of your own, it is r/ReddXReads. There is a link in the description, and I would thank you very kindly for sharing your tale with us. With all of that said, let us not hesitate any longer, and let's jump right into this neckbeard cringe. That time a neckbeard confessed his love for me over TikTok. Oh, I knew TikTok was bad, but neckbeard's on there too? Tisk tisk. Ram tidings, my friends. Nah, just kidding. It's me, Strawberry Belle. And I've come here with the intention of sharing another previous neckbeard story of mine. This tale may not be as triumphant as my previous misfortune, as told by the amazing Ramtide and narrated by the incomparable ReddX and his lovely wife, but I hope it will be an entertaining read nonetheless. If you'd like to hear the tale of when Strawberry Belle kicked the neckbeard dungeon master right in the cock, I think that's in the doo-doo beard video. So check it out at your leisure, but first, another story from lovely Miss Belle. Disclaimer, neckbeards are yucky people, and things in this story may get a bit uncomfortable. Also, I don't use Reddit often, and I'm on mobile, so I apologize for any formatting issues. So now you've been warned twice, neckbeards are icky people. Please don't eat during these tales. It says that in the warning disclaimer, but I think it comes up a little fast, considering all the comments on the tentacle monster video that people are like, oh god, I'm too disgusted to eat now. Yeah, that's what we do here. But it's all in the name of science, I assure you. Now, with that out of the way, allow me to spin you a tale in a series of stories, series, that I hope to write out, known as Cosplay Chronicles. Our story takes place before my encounter with the GM and the others in the long past year of 2018, at a fairly small convention that I would regularly attend. It wasn't tiny by any means, but I have been to larger events. I haven't returned to this specific gathering since this encounter, but for completely unrelated reasons. Good, don't let that neckbeard be the one to chase you away. Now, we can't have our show without our characters, so I present to you the cast list. Belle, our OP, an at the time naive 16-year-old girl cosplaying the main red blood cell from the anime Cells at Work. Under, my older brother, a rather intimidating and muscular guy cosplaying Dragon Lord Bakugu from BNHA for the sole purpose of showing off his abs. Hey man, you worked on him. Might as well show him off. Billbeard, the neckbeard of the hour. A guy around my age at the time who claimed to be a professional cosplayer, but was wearing a poorly put together cosplay of a humanized version of Bill Cipher from Gravity Falls. Now with the actors in place, the curtain drawn, and the lights up, the scene is set, and the story can begin. God, I would love to turn some of these neckbeard tales into a stage play. Get a series going on Netflix. I'm gonna kickstart that real soon, once we hit 1 million subscribers. After a long day of touring the convention center, purchasing overpriced anime merchandise, attending panels, and taking the annual Christmas photo with Santa Deadpool, Under and I were ready for the final event of the day, the cosplay contest. He's gonna win because he got abs. Then again, I don't know how many women there are actually voting. So maybe it's a toss-up. But anyways, contestants, such as my brother and myself, were told to arrive early, so we made our way past the crowds of raving fans that were still mulling about the hollowed halls of the vendor's floor. Blessed be thy name. Toward the area where participants were told to wait for a staff member to instruct us in what order we'd be walking onto the stage. The meeting spot came into view, and a small cluster of miscellaneous characters from various pieces of media were already gathered and were making idle chatter and dancing about. I like the dancing. Under and I split up for a bit to talk to the people we found ourselves surrounded by, and this was when I met Billbeard. My first interaction with him wasn't any sort of hi or hello, but was a black-gloved finger booping my nose alongside a camera filming my reaction. That's when you grab his finger and bend his arm back, and he's like, "No, it's just a prank." "Yeah, mine too. I broke your finger. It's just a prank." But Bell was naive back then and went along with the bit by sticking my tongue out and giving a cutesy wide-eyed stare. Billbeard and I shared a small laugh and began to talk. He told me he was making a boop compilation for a TikTok video. Oh, TikTok. I'm not gonna give my old guy outlook on TikTok, I guess. Because young Belle was ecstatic to find someone who shared a hobby that most of her school shamed, and ecstatically told Billbeard that she too had a TikTok account. They exchanged usernames and chatted a bit more about various topics. That was my first mistake. By this point, Under had finished talking to the Black Butler cosplayers and had noticed Billbeard conversing with me and intervened. Oh, bless. I typically don't like to describe my body, but it's a detail that adds to the creep factor of the story. I'm rather well endowed in certain areas, and this was not helped by the low-cut tank top that I was wearing under my open red jacket in order to cut down on bulk. Billbeard was taller than me, but not enough to need to look too far down to talk to me. I see now that he wasn't just looking at my face. Under had noticed this before I did, so that's why he decided to drag me away from my new friend in order to get lined up for the contest. The cosplay contest begins and ends, and Billbeard and I part ways. While waiting outside for our parents to pick us up in the cold December air, Under tells me that he thought Bill was creepy and that I shouldn't keep contact with him. I didn't see the big deal, so I just ignored him. Billbeard and I didn't really talk after that, until the day I see that he tagged me in a video on TikTok. At the time, if I saw that someone tagged me in a video, I would like it immediately without watching the whole video. This means Billbeard would see that I liked the video. Liking that video was my second mistake. Oh, but we live and we learn, don't we? When I actually watched the video, I saw it was him unfurling a medieval-style scroll with the words, "I love you," scrawled on it. Uh-oh. Big uh-oh. I didn't know what to do. I didn't want to respond as though I accepted his confession, but Little Belle and Current Belle is the kind of person who will sacrifice my own comfort in order for other people to be happy. So I did the only rational thing that I could do in my state of slight panic. I duetted the video. I tried to look flattered, but didn't portray any true emotions. Somebody quick, Google how to delete someone else's TikTok posts. I hoped that would be enough, but I then received a message from him saying that
he saw my duet and he was asking for an answer.
Again, the people pleaser instincts kicked in, and I stupidly agreed to be his girlfriend. Oof. This is when our conversation shifted over from TikTok to Instagram DMs, telling him my Instagram was mistake number 3. I think the dating was 3. This is 4 now. Who's keeping track anyways? We dated for about a week. He tried to escalate our relationship a lot over that week. He would send me pictures of anime characters being intimate and tell me that
we should try to recreate the images in cosplay. That was what we were like.
He tried to get nudes from me and would get upset when I refused.
I've known you for 2 days. Why aren't you sending me nudes?
This guy's wild. I'm glad I had enough sense to cut things off. Yep, there you go. 3 red flags, that's enough. I told him I was done, and he became angrier at me than anyone had been before. He called me
a whore and a dumb bitch and a tease and a slut.
He told me
I was worthless and no one would ever love me the way he did.
God, let's hope they don't. The way he loved her is the wrong way to be loved, isn't it? I wish I could say that his words didn't have an effect on me, but they did. It hurt. I cried. I didn't let his words deter me from blocking him and changing over to a different account, though. And there you have it. I guess if you were to take some sort of moral from this story, it would be, don't be afraid to say no. I hope you enjoyed my story, and if you did, I have a few more that I'd be happy to share. Or if you just want to hang out for a bit, you can find me over on Twitch at twitch.tv/strawberrybell. Sorry for the plug. No apologies for the plug. That's a fair exchange for making a video out of the content, isn't it? I put her link in the description. Well, I'll see all you lovely people another time. Remember to drink water and take a bit of time for yourself. Amen. So long and good day.
Good day, Miss Bell. I thank you for stopping by.
And I'm also super glad that this did not progress beyond just like a few cringy DMs. Like if you had met up with this guy again, there's no telling what could have happened. Always listen to that little voice in your head. Generally, it does know best, and it's going to keep you out of trouble. I can't really identify with sacrificing my own comfort for other people. That's not the type of person that I am, but it does explain a lot about Strawberry Bell. She's got such good vibes, man. You can catch her hanging out in the Discord, making her arts. Super cool chick, and she deserves much better than this. I hope another lesson that was learned to maybe take your little brother's advice a little bit more seriously, because guys honestly are clueless about a lot of things, but we are not clueless about the intentions of other guys, usually because the intentions are pretty straightforward, all things considered. If somebody sends me a scroll unfurling that says I love you, I'll probably respond and be like, I met you once, dude. It wasn't even really like a hangout session, just you and me. I happened to bump into you one time. You are entitled to nothing. Just eviscerate him, you know? Get it over with, quick and easy. Hopefully he'll have learned something from that interaction as well. But anyways, let's go ahead and jump into r/TalesofNeckbeards now, out of my own personal subreddit, and we will get into another post. My love of dogs isn't your opportunity. For that matter, I'd go so far as to say, my love of anything is not your opportunity. Nobody is entitled to your time or attention. Always, always keep it in mind. Anywho, apologies for spelling and formatting. Mobile. Warning, this involves manipulation of a sexual manner. Always appreciate those trigger warnings. I was watching one of ReddX's new videos about a ladybeard who had apparently had a thing for tentacles. That's the video from yesterday, bro. You should go look that one up. That's good. That's good cringe. That triggered some uncomfortable memories for me. Well, I apologize for that, OP, but I can't stop. Anytime I tell someone this story, it makes them squeamish, but entertained. So hey, you're welcome in advance. I dated a neckbeard. I know. Smooth brain move. I was young and stupid and a nerd, and I was happy to have met someone who shared my interests, video games, anime, reading, etc., who didn't just treat me like another guy. I had a lot of guy friends at the time, and our neckbeard D was one of them. I met his sister Lou first, and she and I are still both friends to this day. She actually tried to warn me about him, but being the oblivious moron that I am, I didn't realize. I met D one day in the library, as we both perused the small manga section of the high school library. I was a freshman and he was a junior, and he liked to act pretty superior due to the age difference. He liked to wear a trench coat, even midsummer, in northern Georgia. God. He's cultivating his own sweaty swamp environment under that coat. I guarantee. He also had the beard. It looked kind of like black private hair. Pubic hair. It's pubic hair. He was tall and skinny fat and as pale as a full moon. I almost immediately nicknamed him Slenderman, and since he liked how edgy that sounded, he went with it. Got 2 red flags right at the start, maybe 3. As I said, we were friends. We were both members of the school's poetry club as well as the chess club, so we spent a decent amount of time together. He sometimes made me uncomfortable with the way he spoke about myself and my friends that happened to be girls, but I sorta just assumed that he was only kidding and went with it. My mistake, right? Yeah, bro, it's just a prank, bro. God. He asked me out about 4 months into knowing him. I didn't really date at that point. It wasn't like I wasn't allowed to or anything. I'm demisexual. For the uninitiated, demisexual essentially means that you need to have an emotional bond with your partner. At the time, I had no idea what that was, and I was starting to think that there was something wrong with me for not finding anyone interesting, so I went with it. I made it clear beforehand that I didn't have any feelings for him, but that I was willing to give it a try, which is something that I've lambasted OPs in like the previous 2 or 3 stories for, but I'm gonna give you a pass. I understand how Tentacle Monster Lady relates to this one now, because the OP wasn't attracted to Tentacle Monster Lady, but decided to go out with her anyways. So yeah, that's the connection. I get you. He was eager and seemed to understand, even when I asked that we keep it, well, not really a secret, but on the down low until we had a few dates. I didn't want to feel pressured by what people thought about it. He agreed easily, and the next day, everyone knew. Much to my frustration. Jesus Christ. D, or Slendy, if you'd prefer, took me to his junior homecoming dance. We both dressed up, and his idea of looking nice did, in fact, include a fedora. Because of course it did. At the time, at least in my neck of the woods, that wasn't a well-known warning sign. I wish it had been, so I knew to run. See, that's why we need this channel. Gotta spread the word. Our class had a policy that freshmen couldn't go unless they were the date of an upperclassman, so I didn't know a lot of people there when we went. One of my friends, M, was there with her date, and I wound up hanging in the corner with her and her date for the majority of the night, while D chilled out at the snack table. He put away way more food than I thought was possible for someone who so closely resembled a twig. When I asked him about it, he said
that free food was free food, and he didn't want it to go to waste.
Did I mention that his table manners were nearly non-existent? Oh, you didn't have to mention that, OP. I just kind of assumed. Talking with his mouth full, getting food all over the wrinkled dark red dress shirt that he wore to match my dress, making these weird grunting noises while he ate. I'm sure you're starting to understand why I opted to hang out with M instead. Yes, indeed. That night, he tried to take me back to his place. Uh-oh. I was beyond not okay with that. And when he tried complaining, I told him that I wasn't interested in anything sexual right now, and that if he had a problem with it, I'd call my mom to come pick me up. He was terrified of my mother and decided to relent. But from that point on, he was always attempting to touch me in places that I didn't like. He would come up behind me and literally grind against my ass, and he would be hard. Ugh. The first time, I nearly beat the living shit out of him for it. I did get a slap in, and I told him that if he ever pulled that crap again, we were done. You don't need to give a warning on sexual assault, dude. That's just, you walk away. ASAP. That's when the manipulation began. As I said, I told him before I agreed to date him about how I wasn't even super interested. I told him that I'd never been attracted to anyone before and wasn't sure that I ever would be. I'd done this because I wanted to be as fair as possible and make sure he knew that I wasn't just being a shallow ass about his looks. Apparently, this was a mistake, because he began using this against me, telling me that
I wasn't being a very good girlfriend,
and that he knew it was
just because I thought he looked gross.
At least he's slightly self-aware, I guess. He pity-partied about it constantly, and I couldn't handle that because I felt like I was being a shitty person. He even got one of his sleazeball friends, L, in on it. Dude asked me
how things were going,
and I told him it was fine. He started asking some really personal questions about our relationship, and when I didn't really answer, he told me that
D had confided in him about how badly I was treating him, and that I was a horrible person.
Oh, the irony. The dude calling himself gross and like throwing a pity party because OP won't bang him is so counterintuitive, dude. Self-pity is just super pathetic. Maybe she'll get with you if she like wants a little puppy dog that she can try and fix up, but most people don't. Most people are going to turn around and be like, yeah, he's unconfident and horrible, which ain't a lie. Anyways, about 2 weeks after the incident with his friend, and after constantly being made to feel like I was doing something wrong by not letting a guy that I'd straight up said that I didn't actually see that way do anything with me, D came over while my parents were gone. Oh God. I remember being super confused because he admitted that he'd come specifically because they weren't there, and I knew that I hadn't told him that I was home alone. Bruh, serious stalker vibes. Run to the kitchen, get a knife. This ain't gonna go well. I had a rule about not letting him in my bedroom because I had been pretty sure that I'd caught him going through my clothes drawers at one point. What the fuck? Where's that part of the story? Jesus Christ. Why did you even let him in the house, OP? God! This is like the part of the roller coaster ride that I hate the most. This is like right before the climax. Those with weak stomachs, please turn away. Ugh. So we were sitting in my living room when he made his move. I protested, but he started up again about how
we'd been dating for 3 months at this point, and I was nothing but a shallow tease that was using him to see if I could even feel something. He called me an ice queen with a frozen heart.
Whatever, dude. Elsa a bad bitch. Just let it go, bro. I relented. Oh, regrettable. I let him touch me and ended up going down on him that night. I was uncomfortable the entire time, especially when he decided to... I'm trying to think of a way to describe this and leave some dignity intact. Use his fingers. Dry. Ugh, it hurt a lot. And after that, I started crying and he didn't try anymore. Jesus God, the cringe is so strong. Ugh. He literally said,
as long as I get off, I don't really care about you anyways.
Holy fuck, bro. What a subhuman. I think the only thing that went in my favor was the fact that he only lasted like 5 minutes. He tried to switch things up halfway through and
make me his
idea of dirty talk, but I put my foot down on that one. I was a full gospel Christian at the time, and while I didn't really have the whole no sex before marriage outlook, he didn't know that. I used that, and after whining about it for a bit, he let it go. Fuck, dude. Stories like this just fill me with like so much impotent rage. It's like I want to smash the fuck out of this guy, but I can't do anything. Ugh. God. And then, to top it all off, he broke up with me the next day. Holy fuck, man. I hate. He said I was too much of a prude.
Ew, you're so prude, you only blew me.
The fucking scumbag. I remember feeling a little hurt, but a hell of a lot more relieved. I cried, and my mom tried to comfort me. I don't know how to explain that they were relieved tears, not sadness at being broken up with, without telling her what had actually happened. I didn't want my mom to go to prison for murder. Now it's not just your mom, dude. I'm sure I got like 5,000 people in the comments like, tell me his name, where does he live? And while I can't sign off on any of that stuff, I'll just say it wouldn't make me sad. The next week, he was dating my friend. Oh, Jesus Christ. Remember M? She and her date hadn't hit it off, so she agreed to go out with him. At first, I was worried for her, but unbeknownst to me, D had been bragging about how things had gone with me. He'd even started rumors that we'd gone all the way. M wasn't interested in him. She wanted revenge. Oh, good! Maybe it can still turn around. I don't want to go into a lot of detail about how that went, because it involves a lot of personal info about M, but it wound up with her stepdad literally kicking him off their front porch. This is Sparta, bitch. D got another girl pregnant a month later. I met the girl and their daughter Rose, who is a sweetheart that I sometimes visit. D isn't in her life, which is probably for the better. D messaged me on Facebook a year later. He said
he wanted to apologize and just get his old friend back.
I felt like he was being genuine, so I agreed to talk to him. Ugh. It was pleasant for a while, but out of the blue he started telling me that
he still loved me.
But I thought I was too good for him, and that's why we broke up. I started a message ranting about how shitty he was to even try that, but before I could, he told me that
he'd make it up to me by getting a German Shepherd puppy.
My favorite dog breed.
It would be a male, and in return for his generosity, when the puppy grew up, I would send him videos.
I'll let you take a guess at what kind of videos he meant. Not happy r/aw, million likes on Instagram videos, I assume. The kind of illegal videos. The kind of videos that start with a B and rhyme with fatality.
Babality.
Or maybe he just wanted nudes. I don't know, but either way, it ain't worth a German Shepherd puppy. What the fuck? A one-time investment of $200 and you get free nudes for life. Fuck off, bro. Go on OnlyFans. Or even just like Pornhub if you don't care that it's personalized. Ugh. He told me
he was commissioning a friend of his to draw some pictures of what he wanted. And that since he knew I liked anime, he'd include a few pictures with tentacles.
For what he assumed would be my viewing pleasure. What the actual fuck? Oh, so that's another connection with the tentacle video from earlier. Wow, I'm sure this brought up a lot of bad feels for you. I can only apologize, OP. But again, I can't stop. I just like the cringe. It hurts too good. Give me more. I deleted the message. There was no point. Instead, I blocked him on everything. Nearly 10 years later, after the case where he actually stalked me, even all the way to Boston where I went for a vacation, he's moved with his sister to Washington. I'm free. My current boyfriend and I are doing quite well, talking about possible engagement in the not quite near but also not too far future, and I'm happy now. Part of me hopes he grows up and finds someone too, but part of me also hopes that he gets run over by a bus. I'm praying for the bus outcome personally. I'm cutting this short because I have to grab groceries, but if anyone actually reads this and is curious, I'll tell you about our first date, which involves my fear of heights and his idea of a kiss. Oh god. Yet another story of a beard masquerading as a man, but hiding an absolute monster underneath. I'm so glad that you were able to deal with it at least somewhat. You didn't go all the way with him, which, god, that has to be considered some sort of victory. I'm glad that M went after him for revenge. Her fucking stepdad kicking him off the porch. That is classic. Super gold. But you know, I also feel a certain type of way, and I'm like, I wish he would have just cracked his head on the pavement and all this would be over. I just don't know, bro. That story picked up way fast, you know? Started with the homecoming dance, and then it's like he fucking comes to your house when your parents aren't there. That is so horrifying. And then he's like, oh, you gotta blow me now. And he breaks up with you the next day. Like, fuck, man. At this point, I already want to, like, stab him in the face. But that ain't even where it stops. That ain't even where it stops. God! I rank him about the third worst neckbeard that we've ever encountered. SLENDYBEARD. Right below Riderbeard and Wheezybeard. So congratulations, you fucking human greaseball. You've made it into the Hall of Shame. At least you've done something with your life. Even if that something is providing intense cringe to thousands of people on YouTube. Ugh. But I thank you for sharing the story, OP. I'm sure it couldn't have been an easy thing to write. I'm super proud of you for setting your boundaries and keeping them, you know. He did manage to push you a little bit farther than you probably would have done otherwise, but at the end of the day, you did manage to hold him off, and that's got to be considered some sort of victory. Especially when he tried creeping back in and you're just like, whatever, bitch, blocked. God, I fucking love that block button. Block, block, blocked. So yeah, he might grow up and find someone, but I don't give a shit if he does, honestly. I hope he dies miserable and alone. You can't manipulate other people like this and expect not to be treated like a monster, and that's essentially what he is, a monster. Some of these neckbeards are misunderstood monster. I point towards Adam, the college beard, and you know, I feel deeply for him. But this guy, just complete piece of shit. I could learn that he died tomorrow and I'd be like, good, just desserts. Lord, glad to hear you're doing okay, OP. Congratulations on the soon-to-be engagement as well, OP. Marriage is such a blessing. I cannot stress that enough. My gorgeous, lovely wife, you should go visit her on my channel over there. Link is also in the description. But she has absolutely made my life what it is. And yeah, I'm so glad that you were able to find someone. I hope that you will share some more with us. It would be nice to get this into like a series sort of thing. But honestly, I'm also like partly terrified because, I don't know, man. This story went so deep, brought up a lot of emotions for me. I think a lot of that is because I feel protective of kids, especially girls, you know? It's a human being, you fucking meatball, not just like your cum fantasy, you know? Go jerk off on your body pillow. Ugh, fucking hateable. But again, you made it out okay. And again, I definitely appreciate you sharing. I hope that you guys will like, comment, and or subscribe if you did enjoy the video. Check out the links in the description. There's links to some stuff that wasn't linked on the splash page at the beginning of the video, including my wife's channel and my personal subreddit and Strawberry Bell's Twitch. Can't forget that one. And you are seeing some names on the screen right now. Those are my gorgeous, wonderful, beautiful, generous patrons, and I'd like to thank them all, but specifically Lady Nix, Robert Waits, Pope Squid, Rebecca H, Cider Drinker, Tato Ferret, The Last Shinobi, Mark 211, Michael Undead, Aaron W, Mitch, John Hero, Josh K, Candy Sora, Digi NZ, and the newest addition, who I actually had the pleasure of talking to in Discord last night. So what up, bruh? Calakas. Did you know Lakas in Tagalog means like strong or powerful? Pretty cool name, if you ask me. Anywho, if anybody else out there can support monetarily, that is massively appreciated. This is my full-time job, and it's super, super important to keep me and my family afloat. But if you can't do it right now, don't worry about it. I just appreciate you coming on through, being with me here today, and I hope that you come on back and hang out with me again tomorrow, because the views is really what keeps my beard buttered. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, in order to join me tomorrow, you'll need to keep yourself safe out there. Safe, healthy, wash your hands all the time, super important, but also take some time out to do something that you enjoy today. Maybe watching another ReddX video? Ain't nothing wrong with that. Anyways, always remember, friends, always, that you are loved, you are worthy, and you definitely, definitely deserve it. I'll see you in the next one, and until then, bye-bye.